everybody. Ben and Holly here. We're back one more time for Festival of the Arts trip.
Sadly, we are not in Disney, so instead you're going to be staring at our couch and the painting overhead.
Right.
So
we just wanted to come on live today because we always do a trip wrap-up at the end. Usually it's on our way home, in the car, on the bus, on the plane. Ben used to do it as a way, because I didn't like to fly when we first started flying, so he used to do it as a way to keep me calm on the plane, which was really super.
And very effective.
It's kind of just become a tradition, and we really like to do it at the end of a trip because it kind of helps us put everything that we saw in perspective, and it helps us remember the trip better, and
now we can force you to listen to it.
Yeah, it's just kind of an enjoyable thing. So
Sorry,
the cat is trying to
knock everything
play
over.
with the,
so
so
it's not an earthquake, it's just dino.
you might see a giant cat head come around the other side of the screen. We're not really sure what's going to happen. So yeah, that would actually be a lot of fun. Hopefully that rather than knock the phone over. So hey, Howard and Leah. Thanks for tuning in.
Our only fans.
No, our biggest fans.
Our biggest fans. Fair enough.
I mean, it's fair. We might be their biggest fans.
That's
too,
right.
So,
you can check out their videos at Underground Teapot.
Underground Teapot on YouTube. You should definitely check out their channel.
Hilarious.
Yes. So, without further ado, we'll go over our Festival of the Arts trip a little bit. I'm sorry, Howard, I can't see that far. Hey. Sorry, I need new glasses, really badly.
All right, Dinah's about to go schizo.
Dinah's going to kill Alice in a second.
All right, good. She's off the table now. So let's start with a brief overview of our travel plan, because this is a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Actually, here, why don't you do this? Why don't you log on to Facebook on my phone and follow along?
I don't see them a little bit.
So about 2 to 2.5 weeks ago, Holly looked at me and said, I'm going to go to the Festival of the Arts. We're not going to get to go ever. So
yeah, I woke up one morning and I had this idea that I finished. Okay. All right, sorry guys, I got a Wi-Fi issue there. Wi-Fi is terrible everywhere in life. So we switched on to Wi-Fi at home because our data plan is almost used for the month, because I don't use the Wi-Fi at Disney because it drives me insane. So anyway,
yes.
So anyway, I woke up one morning and I think it was like a Sunday morning, and I said to Ben, I was like, I think I just figured something out. And I leapt out of bed and ran downstairs, and he's like, oh God, what
I went back to sleep.
Yeah. So I got downstairs and I realized that being a travel agent, we have one of the perks that we have available is that we can do one trip a year that gives us a little bit of a discount. And it occurred to me I hadn't used that rate, obviously for 2017 because it's January, and it allows us to get a one-day complimentary park ticket per year. So since my annual pass was expired, I just assumed that we couldn't go, and that was kind of the end of it until I remembered about this ticket. So actually, Michelle's not on here tonight, but shout out to Michelle, because it was your broadcast about getting into the ink and paint class that made me think, oh my gosh, what kind of seminars are there? I really, really think I might want to go to this festival. So anyway, I logged on, found out what the seminars were for which weeks, and I wanted to go President's Day weekend because we could have done ink and paint and done the animation seminar, so I thought that would have been a really good time. But unfortunately, when I looked at the airfare, President's Day weekend wasn't really in the cards. So we did find this weekend in January, and I was like, well, I can go to the animation thing, but it's on Monday. Can you take a day off work? Because
I could.
Because Carolyn Reese is a champ and was willing to back me up for the day. It turns out I was able to take a day off work too. So that's how we ended up with this strange little Sunday to Monday, very quick trip. So anyway, sorry, that might have been boring. So let's get on to the stuff that's actually interesting.
Let's get on the stuff you want to hear about.
Yeah. So at any rate, we decided that the best thing we could do trip-wise was to leave Sunday at about 20 after 10, which put us in Orlando around 1 o'clock, and the last flight home that we could take on Monday night was 8:40. So I was like, well, that gives us from 1 o'clock Sunday to 8 o'clock on Monday to see the festival, maybe grab some dinner, etc. And then I started thinking about it and realized that my cousin Jen was working in Gainesville for the winter on a farm, and I was like, oh, well, that's not that far from Orlando. So I called her and I was like, hey, do you want to come down and meet us up for dinner? And she was on board with that, so she came down, and She and her boyfriend Nico actually came down and met us for dinner. That was awesome.
Yes.
I had met Nico before, but it's been a while, and she used to work in Martha's Vineyard. I usually go up and see her in the fall, and I usually meet a lot of people when I'm there, and I don't always remember, face to name who's who. And I don't believe they were seeing each other at the time, so that was kind of cool to get to meet him. I think I'm the first one in the family that got to meet him too, so that was fun.
Now that we've discussed Holly's cousin's dating life,
it's okay. She's not on Facebook. She won't know.
If anyone's interested, I was playing Dungeons and Dragons the Saturday before we left, so stay tuned for that.
Some of us were actually working on Saturday. That's why we couldn't leave earlier.
That's poor planning on your part.
It was poor planning. I totally could have skipped that meeting. It was not turned out to be important.
Okay.
Anyway, so we arrived we actually got in about 12:30. Our plane was early, which flying Southwest happens quite a bit out of Baltimore. So actually, I kind of get upset when we're not early. We had toyed with renting a car, but decided that because it was pretty quick turnaround, we didn't want to deal with it, and we were just going to take Magical Express. So Magical Express over to Pop. And basically threw our stuff down, took some quick pictures of the room, did a quick video tour, and headed out on the bus where did we bus to? Did we have to go to the Magic Kingdom?
We went to the Magic Kingdom so you could get your ticket.
Oh, that's right. We did bus over there. Yep. So I had to pick up my ticket at Will Call, and you have to go to a theme park to do that. And I didn't want to waste time doing it at Epcot the following morning. I wanted to have it in hand. So I ran to the Will Call window. And
since there's a video to this effect, but since I still have an annual pass and Holly doesn't, I decided that I was going to go into the Magic Kingdom because it's not really a trip to Disney if you don't go in the Magic Kingdom.
Right.
I just walked around for a minute, and almost stayed to watch the Dapper Dans, but came back out to meet up with Holly, and then we had to go do video tours, which we actually documented most of the rest of that night.
Except for Jelly Rolls, because you can't take a video camera.
Yes,
there,
yes.
But anyway, while Ben was inside the park, some of you watched. In fact, I think everybody who's on here right now watched my super sad video because I was stuck outside the Magic Kingdom, outside the scrimmed over train station because the train is down for refurbishment. It was basically the saddest day I've ever spent at Magic Kingdom. Fortunately, it was like 10 minutes long.
They also have the construction scrim up outside the Emporium.
Yes, the Emporium's under and it's only like partially the decorated scrim, right?
Yeah.
It's mostly the brown scrim.
Mostly.
Usually, if you I think everybody who's here has been, but maybe somebody who watches later hasn't. When Disney has to do renovations on a ride or a building, they usually put up a scrim that's painted to match the building exactly. So at a quick glance, it doesn't really look like anything's wrong. And then, of course, when you stop to take a picture of the building, you realize, wait, that's some sort of fabric hanging over the building. That's not actually the way that's supposed to look. So that's kind of strange.
So yeah, we went and did video tours after Magic Kingdom. We went and did video tours of
all the resorts,
the Grand Floridian, the Contemporary, and the Polynesian, not in that order.
And unfortunately, I wasn't fast enough on the camera. I wasn't thinking about the fact that we were monorailing from Contemporary to Polynesian. So, of course, we passed by Wilderness Lodge on the way, and we could have, caught a picture of the construction.
Yeah.
There are some new over-the-water bungalows happening at Wilderness Lodge. So those look kind of cool, and they're actually coming along pretty quickly. I think faster than the Polynesian bungalows. So they must have learned something in that construction process.
And then after that, we went to Kona Cafe for...
Yes. We went all the way to Grand Floridian, and then we took the boat over to the Polynesian.
Right.
So, and then we had Kona for lunch. Oh, actually, we took a walk to transportation and ticket, and then rode the monorail back to Polynesian.
Just so that you, our viewing public, could see the actual path to the transportation and ticket center, because it is kind of disguised.
If you're bored tonight and you're looking for another video to watch and you missed that one,
Howard and Leah, this could be important to you.
Yeah, it's a fun one to check out because we got into a fun discussion with Dad on the way to the monorail. He was pretty upset with Ben about not bringing him home a Dole Whip. I'm not sure if he understands that Dole Whips are ice cream, and they wouldn't have made it till Monday.
I'm sure he understands.
He understands, yeah. So
he's an ice cream savant.
He does like ice cream. Yeah, it's a favorite. So anyway, got to the Polynesian, had dinner at Kona. One thing I was really hoping to catch, because I happened to see one of my friends who was down last week, met Moana at the Polynesian. And I knew it was a pop-up meet and greet. I knew it was just a chance. It's not scheduled any particular day. But unfortunately, we missed Moana, and we think it was because of the weather. It was pretty chilly, So obviously Moana, being Polynesian, doesn't have a very extensively covered costume. So what's it?
And Howard saying that
He
he
saw
the
fat
video. Yeah, and it made his failure in October complete. Howard, I'm assigning all blame for that to you, just so you know. So your failure is complete. Leah is scot-free. She's free to fail again.
So where were we? No Moana. Sad.
No Moana.
It was actually kind of a sad day for me. No Magic Kingdom. No Moana meet and greet.
Yeah, thanks for telling the people the things we didn't video. Like, we didn't see this or this or this. But and then then
after dinner, we had dinner at Kona was nice, and it's really funny to watch the video while you're talking because things happen on the screen and it's very distracting.
It's like, ooh.
So about dinner. You had the tuna, right?
I had the tuna. Yes, that was very good.
And I had the lamb chop, and like I said in my review that night, lamb chop was not as good as the first time that I had it. It was still really good, but it wasn't like the first time. I could have probably eaten the bones off of the lamb chop. They were so delicious. They were just a little bit more on the bland side, so still good. But
we also had the spicy tuna roll, which was
amazing.
Very, very good.
That was really, really good.
I even managed to get it in my mouth with chopsticks, which does not happen. So Holly's cousin shamed me into it.
Now, dessert always makes me really nervous when I'm eating with Jen because she's a pastry chef. So you take a professional to a restaurant and you're like, I love this restaurant. It's great. And she's like, yeah, it sucks. So
she gets her disgust on. No, she doesn't. She doesn't really. But you
always
worry it's going to happen.
Well, and you can always tell. Like she doesn't hide her feelings about things. So like if she doesn't like something, I
hope she doesn't have Facebook.
No, but if she does, she doesn't actually. But if she doesn't like something, like you can tell. Like she'll never like come out and say it overtly unless you directly ask her. But you can just. I mean, I've grown up with her. Like we're a year apart. I've known her my whole life. So it's just easy to tell if she doesn't like it. So sorry, that went crazy.
Keep going.
So anyway,
we
kind of decided dessert wasn't the direction we wanted to go at the Poly because you never really know. And I think the only thing we've had there before was creme brulee, and creme brulee's creme brulee.
I don't know. I've had some creme brulee that's pretty good. But anyway. So the short part of this story is that we ended up going to... Are you serious? Do you ever charge your phone?
I was at 50% when we started.
Oh my God.
It dropped 30%. Okay, we got to speed this up.
Okay,
Anyway, we decided to go to Vivoli Il Gelato at Disney Springs for dessert instead. So we literally drove over to Disney Springs, ate gelato, and left.
And then we went to Jelly Rolls and spent the rest of the night there, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's kind of like one of our new favorite hangouts. Somebody likes Jelly Rolls,
yeah. And then the next day we went to basically spent the whole day at Epcot, going.
Which most
of
that's on video, so somewhere in this feed you can see that. So the only ride that we rode was Soarin', and I think we alluded to that. That was probably going to be our only ride, and really just because the festival didn't start till 11. So when we got there at basically near rope drop. There wasn't really anything to do except pick a ride. So we opted for Soarin' because the line, I think we waited we actually walked right into the queue. It was very, very fast.
It was very fast. So. And even when we got out, it was still only 30 minutes.
Hi, Leah. Yes, DuckTales. We got the guys at Jelly Rolls to play the DuckTales theme song. This is like part of our obsession with going there is to see what is the most ridiculous thing we can get them to play. So the first time that I ever went, Ben missed this trip unfortunately, but the first time I ever went was with Howard and Leah and Jen and my friend Christine. And we got them to play, at Christine's request, the Golden Girls theme song. Which that was like a really good time. And of course everybody loved it because it's the Golden Girls. Like, let's be real. And Ben and I went and we got them to play the theme song to Greatest American Hero.
But they only played the first verse.
And If I Had $1 Million.
Filthy cheaters, I want my $10 back.
Okay, this is funny though. We got them to play If I Had $1 Million, the Bare Naked Ladies version. And Sunday night, whatever night we were there, there was a guy in a green shirt.
Green shirt guy.
Wilson. Matt Wilson. If you are out there anywhere, I salute you, man. we had a great time, and part of it's thanks to you. So he also requested if I had $1 million, and I was kind of shocked because I think when we requested it, they said like nobody had requested that in a really long time.
But everyone sang along with it.
Yeah, like everybody knew it, but nobody thought to ask for it. So anyway, it was fun. So where were we before that?
Well, we were running out of battery.
I'm bad on tangents. I'm sorry.
You are bad at tangents. So anyway, Green Shirt Guy dropped the C note to request if I had $1 million, saying he wanted the $100 version of that song,
right?
Which involves all 4 of the pianists from Jelly Rolls coming out and doing harmonies and whatnot.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we should probably actually do the thing we came here to do.
Yeah.
Too,
okay. So we want to talk about things at the festival. Well, things on the trip in general, but things at the festival that we liked, didn't like so much, favorites and whatnot. So starting off with our favorite food at the festival. I think we're not 100% tied on this, but we both had probably our top 3 was the same. So
yeah, easily.
For me, it was definitely the flank steak. What is it called? We think it's maybe guarachi. My Spanish is a little rusty. So flank steak guarachi. It was 2 corn tortillas with black beans and various vegetables and queso fresco on top. Really, really, like all the flavors just really played together very nicely. It had a nice crunch and had good flavor, good texture, and very, very good dish.
Yeah, my favorite, I'm going with the BLT at E = AT squared. Awesome, it's very, very good.
The bacon was like this thick.
Yeah, it was thick cut, and it was thick cut, and it was divided into sections, almost like a bacon Kit Kat. And there was very little lettuce involved with the
there were like a couple
thing,
little green sprigs, and I don't even think there were any tomatoes. Were there tomatoes on the plate?
I don't remember. We have pictures somewhere.
Yeah, the pictures are in one of the video feeds because I put all the food pictures in there. But what was I going to say about it? The poached egg in the middle?
Oh yeah, there was that too. That was really good.
I don't know what it was doing on a BLT because I don't put eggs on my BLT, but that was really good with the bacon.
Eggs go well on a lot of things.
Yeah, I think if they'd have called it eggs and bacon, it would have made more sense. But whatever it was, it was
nearly
delicious.
as popular. Honorable mention goes to the Reuben, which was just really awesome. Obscenely good.
Yeah.
But
I don't like Reubens really, and this was really like this. It was like a circle of. It was like a sesame cracker.
Yeah.
And then corned beef inside and.
Yeah,
some sort of orange
sauce. It was really, really good. It was the Russian dressing. That's what you put on a Reuben.
It was Russian dressing.
But it was in little dots next to the plate. But the circular cracker crust thing, they deducted points because it made it harder to eat. It was very artistically,
I added points aesthetically
pleasing, but I deducted points because it made it harder to eat. So.
So we also want to do our favorite sweet food. That was our favorite savory.
And I'm gonna have
we're 100% tied on this one.
Yeah, it's going to the rice pudding gelato at whatever that place is in Disney
Vivoli
Springs.
Il Gelato.
There we go. There we go.
There are only 3 in the world. There's one. The original, it was family owned in Florence. And there's now one in New York City, and then this one in Disney World is the most recent. So there are 3 places in the world that you can get this amazing gelato. One of them is on your fabulous Walt Disney World vacation, and you should go because it's amazing.
Go. It was very, very good. It beat out every dessert we tried at Festival.
Yeah, like by a mile. Although the drinking chocolate at the American Pavilion, I will give that an honorable mention because. The last 2 times, I had this drinking chocolate 2 years ago at the Ghirardelli. I love it. It's chocolate and it's liquid and it tastes like a melted candy bar. It's amazing.
We've been on our feet for 13 hours. Just a few more miles so we get.
Anyway, we're running out of battery.
Whatever.
So anyway, the drinking chocolate. The last 2 times, I thought it had been a little bit thin. Well, this chocolate was at the American Pavilion instead of at the Ghirardelli from Bean to Bar exhibit. And it was nice and thick, and it was warm, and it was just really, it was pretty fantastic. But still doesn't beat the rice pudding gelato. That's the best thing I've ever eaten, probably in my life.
Maybe you should have snuck some rice pudding gelato in and poured your drinking chocolate over it.
That would have been amazing.
I'm sure it would.
All right, moving on. Least favorite food at the festival?
I think that's going to... did we divide this up into savory as well?
Yes, we
did.
Savory
and sweet? Yeah. All right, so least favorite savory food... I'm going to go with the Cobb salad. I like salad, but it just didn't do it for me. And it was sitting next
salad, but
it was sitting next to the BLT and the Reuben.
So the poor Cobb salad, like it really definitely had some tough competition. For me, this is probably going to surprise anybody who knows me well. It's going to go to the scallop. I love scallops. I think they're phenomenal. And the scallop at the American, I don't know what it was called. It's called Block and Hans at the Food and Wine Festival. I forget what the name of the booth was for Festival of the Arts.
I didn't know they had names.
The American booth. And
Howard, just so you know, Howard, the Dole Whip is in its own category.
Yeah,
that's just the thing that happens.
That's not
it's its own
savory or
force
sweet.
of nature.
That's Dole Whip.
The Dole Whip is separate.
Yeah. Let's see. Least favorite sweet.
Least favorite sweet, I'm going to go with that weird deconstructed sweet potato pie thing.
Yeah, that was one I was really excited to try, and we were really full by the time we got to that point in the festival.
That tasted like disappointment and a trip to the dentist.
I was just done. I was just so done by that point. And there was some maple in there. I don't like maple. I'm not a fan of that flavor, so that really definitely was not my favorite.
Yeah.
For me, though, I think I'm going to go with is it a poached pear?
Yeah, it was a poached pear
with panna cotta. The panna cotta was delicious. The pear was, it had like a sandpapery texture, but from the crystallized sugar, and it was just, it was too much.
You don't like pears anyway.
I could have dealt with the pear. It was actually too sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one is not my favorite. I'm not a fan.
It had an uphill battle to
it
try
did.
and
the panna cotta
not
was
be
good.
her least favorite thing.
So moving along, favorite artwork.
I'm going to give that to the photographer Carlos Cuba. You can see his card right there. He had magnificent photography that was on glass. We don't have any pictures of it because since he's a photographer, he kindly asked that you not take pictures of his work.
That's reasonable.
But it was absolutely gorgeous. If you get the chance, stop by his booth. If you want to, you can buy me one of those enormous glass things. I think they're like $3,000. I will certainly be grateful and not cut you a check for that.
Yeah. And my favorite of the festival, I think this was a real toss-up for me because the art really was beautiful. And I'd love to see more artists at this festival in the future because I think we probably only talked to like 4 of them. And as large as the World Showcase is 1.3 miles. We really could have used a few more artists to really fill it out. But the one that I thought was the most interesting, there was a lady there, and I don't remember her name, and I thought I grabbed one of her cards, and I apparently didn't. But she made paper from boiling pages of her books. So it was some sort of special paper that doesn't disintegrate when it's boiled. She made paper by pressing leaves and flowers onto this special type of paper and boiling it for 4 hours. And so each page was its own work of art, and she had them bound into journals, and it was really cool. It was nice to see somebody doing something that was...
It was very unique.
Like kind of crafty, but not like arts and crafts like at a fair, It was something that was really uniquely artistic.
I mean, to be fair, the macaroni glued to paper plates at the art festival was really good. Very well done. But
there wasn't macaroni glued to paper plates.
Well, there might have been somewhere, but it wasn't.
It was at the Kit Kat Fun Stops. It wasn't with the artists. So we also want to give a shout out, honorable mention to a fellow by the name of Rob Kaz. We stopped and talked with him for, I don't know, probably about 10 minutes.
Yeah, and he was on one of my extremely lengthy Epcot videos that I think only Leah suffered through. Yeah. He was a really awesome guy. His work is really good.
Yeah. His tagline is creating story with character and light. So it kind of reminds me of, this is going to be really funny because I'm not a Thomas Kinkade fan, but he kind of reminds me of a cross between a Thomas Kinkade and a Walt Disney because he likes to tell stories with his characters and with their emotions. And this little green frog is actually in all of his paintings that, other than like if he's doing a Disney painting, obviously he doesn't sneak his frog in, but I didn't see it in yet. But I just think he's such a cutie. He reminds me of Arlo from the Average Dinosaur. I thought the art in that movie was very cute, even though I didn't really care for the movie.
Yeah, and he was there doing artwork live. He was actually he was one of our performing monkeys who was actually doing stuff there at the festival.
I was actually really interested in buying one of the originals he was painting, and he was painting them. I forget what he called the paper. I asked him if it was parchment paper, but it wasn't. But he was painting, live right there, and I asked him about buying an original painting, but they were $400. I was like, Okay, like I understand you're an artist, but that was like maybe just that was a little bit more than I was hoping he was gonna say. I just we weren't really shopping for art either, so
you appreciate art, and you're also kind of a cheapskate. So
I end up looking at art a lot more than buying it.
Ditto. Because the cheapskatiness has rubbed off on me.
Sorry,
it's all right. All right, back to the list.
Okay, back to the list. Favorite festival experience overall.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? All right,
okay.
Let's go first.
My favorite thing was the mural, the interactive paint-by-number mural that we were all painting. And I wasn't really sure, looking at pictures of this, how exactly it was going to work out. But this was, they said it took about 2 days each time they put the mural up to have it completely finished. So I thought it was really cool that you didn't have to be there the first weekend and the last weekend to see it from start to finish. You actually could see it over the course of a day or two. And then they said once our mural from Monday was finished, that it would stay. Excuse me, hiccups. That it would stay up all week. So it didn't look quite as nice as this one because, of course, we were doing paint by number, and everybody gets to participate. It doesn't cost anything to participate. So, of course, there were kids helping to paint. So that definitely, changed the aesthetic of our community artwork by just a little bit. So, yeah. but it was a lot of fun.
I'm going to go with the stand-in artwork where they had various famous pieces of art set up, and you could go in and have your picture taken. There was a photo pass photography there. And
in particular, George Washington crossing the Delaware.
I enjoyed George Washington crossing the Delaware a lot. Tagline, surprise! But they also had the Mona Lisa, the Scream, and some weird cocktail party one that
that was a Renoir.
Sure.
That one was cool. I really liked that one. And our photo pass photographer was, I think, the most interactive there. So that made it, even more fun.
We're also going to give honorable mention to the moving statues.
The moving statues were so cool.
They were really, really neat. They
had their eyes closed and they were painted completely in the color of whatever the thing was they were standing on. So there was one called the Land that was painted like copper, bronze.
Yeah, bronze, gold maybe. There was Motion.
Motion was
looked
gold.
like he was gold. You're right. He was an aviator. And then there was wasn't he an aviator?
I think he was driving a car, I thought.
Was he? Oh, yeah, he was driving a car.
Yeah, and then there was Space, and he was painted all in silver. And we missed him. We were just getting in line to see him, and they went off stage because there was a...
Yes, Howard, ugh, kids.
So he was just leaving their what do you call it?
Their little thing outside the fountain.
Yeah, their meet and greet time. Their time was over because there was American Music Machine was coming on stage.
Yeah.
In like 10 minutes. So.
And the one thing that I think they need to work on is like you could go get your picture taken with them. They would interact with you, but there was no queuing set up properly. It was just like random people.
It was actually pretty decent though. Like there weren't a ton of people.
Well, it was also not crowded at the park,
but nobody was like pushing and shoving, and everybody's kind of just taking a turn. Okay, Ben was.
I was pushing.
All of the rest of the polite people that were there were not pushing.
I was polite about my pushing.
Yeah, you were a nice pusher.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Some of the other things that we saw during the festival, of course, every festival that they do at Epcot has one of these lovely little books, and they have, they'll tell you everything that's happening at the festival, and they give you a checklist so that you can. Oh, that's right, front-facing camera. You guys can't read any of this; it's all backwards. So, so that kind of helps you move around the festival and make sure that you don't miss anything. So that was pretty nice. And then another thing that they've started doing, and our sad map is not complete, but at Easter, they have an Easter egg hunt. At Food and Wine Festival this year, they had Find the Hidden Remy's, and they had little Remy statues hidden in all the pavilions. Well, for Festival of the Arts, they had Find the Figment paintings, and each country had a figment painting inside. So this one was probably... I would say we didn't... the reason this isn't filled in is because we were just very, very rushed, and we were eating instead of finding figments. So we missed a lot of the countries, but they give you a little sticker sheet.
Yeah, and what they did was they put figment in famous pieces of art.
Yeah, so that's the actual Mona Lisa.
Yeah, that's the actual one.
They gave us a Mona Lisa sticker, but instead of Mona Lisa being there, it was figment dressed up like Mona Lisa. So you also had to be able to find the correct version of the painting. I don't know, because there was one that was...
Oh, I'm sorry. I tangented you. That's terrible.
No. There was one that didn't match up with the country that it was actually from. So that's probably I don't think that's probably the case, but we'll check. We'll do the research.
Okay.
Anyway.
Next up.
Other festival things. If you were watching yesterday, I walked through the Mary Blair exhibit. I was pretty disappointed in the Herb Ryman and Mary Blair exhibits. I felt like they needed to do one of two things. They either needed to make those two individual highlight exhibits much, much larger, because they really didn't capture the essence. I mean, these are two people who had careers with the Walt Disney Company in Imagineering and in design. And they really, I mean, I think each one had maybe 8 to 10 pictures of contributions that they made, and they were focused around a central theme for that person. I think they either needed to really flesh those out or add like 10 more Disney artists who were really important to the creation of either Epcot specifically or Walt Disney World or Disney Imagineers.
I think the second option is better because you are a Disney nerd, and therefore your desire to know everything about Mary Blair down to her shoe size is not universally shared.
And now I don't have that information because they didn't put it there.
It's okay. Yeah. You'll probably survive.
I don't know,
but
we'll see.
I'm just saying, like, for the festival food finder attention span, it was probably just about the right length. They could have used more.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they could have used more artists for sure.
But like for hardcore Disney nerds, of course it's not enough.
Yeah, it'll never be enough.
It'll never be enough.
Another thing that they brought back, which was really cool, and we actually missed, and that's probably my we'll get to it in a minute, one of my greatest disappointments of the trip.
I wouldn't say I was missing it, Bob.
Animation Academy from Hollywood Studios was here for the festival, and I didn't realize that it was in Interventions, and I didn't realize that you could go as early as 9:15.
So what happens when you don't plan?
Yeah. I couldn't plan. I couldn't find a times guide anywhere online that anyone had posted. So, at any rate, I could have gone there instead of Soarin', and I probably would have opted to do that just because we can go to Soarin' literally anytime that we're in the parks, whereas Animation Academy has been gone from Hollywood Studios for, a little over a year, and there's no guarantee that it's coming back on any kind of permanent basis. So,
do you believe that's when I heard the wailing and gnashing of the teeth all the way
in
Towson when you
found out? I was really upset about it. So I was really glad to see that back for the festival, even though I didn't get to go. But I did get to do the Animation 101 class with Todd Bright, who did the animation on Mulan, Tarzan, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Brother Bear, among others. Oh, and Lilo and Stitch. So that was really cool. And we did mostly what we did was stretch and squash, which is the animation technique that allows you to see something that accelerates towards the ground and hits the ground. So we did a bouncing ball. We made a short video. I made the video. We drew it. But it's really hard to see on a flipbook style just because it's hard to flip. It was a 12-frame animation, and to get 12 pages to flip accurately is really difficult to do. So I actually downloaded an app and put it into a video, which was really, it's pretty fun. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. We learned the technique and made the thing in an hour, so it definitely needs some work, but maybe I'll post the video in the comments. I don't know. I'll think about it. What else? Did I miss any other festival experiences? I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of art out there.
Yeah.
I mean, going to the Art of Disney and downtown Disney, Disney Springs. Sorry, it's one of my favorite things to do. I'm a big looky-loo when it comes to art, and I love pop culture art. I love mashups. I love Disney stuff. You know, it's great, and this was just like that spread over Epcot. Right. So it was and spread over World Showcase.
It needs to be fleshed out more. Like I mean, Food and Wine. Food and Wine is the oldest festival that Disney does at Epcot. And I want to say they're in their 22nd-ish year, something like that. I know it was there. We were there for the 20th anniversary, but I forget which year it was. So, let's say they've been doing it 22
We even looked at the timeline the last time we went.
I don't remember. At any rate, that one, obviously, they've spent a lot of time and effort in, the banners and the artwork that's around, incorporating the signage that you see into the festival, and they have over 30 food booths that open specifically for that festival. I think this festival had like 8. So definitely, I'll be anxious to see what they do with it in the future. I hope they keep the festival because I thought it was really good.
This year's 22. Thank you, Howard.
Thanks, Howard. At least I was right this time. So, what was I saying? Oh, and like Flower and Garden, they have 75 character topiaries, and they're adding more every year because they can bring out the ones that they've used from previous years and then just add to it. So
are you saying they recycle things?
They recycle things.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Disney recycles
Magic
because they're
ruined.
they're very environmentally conscious.
We're gonna change this to the magic ruining live cast.
So, and at any rate, I hope that this festival will continue to grow.
Yeah.
Because I think if they use this as a springboard and jump off from it, in like 5 to 7 years, this festival is going to be the go-to event. Like people are going to be like, food and wine, what? Who cares? Let's go to the fancy food festival. And I really hope that that's the case because I think it's honestly of the festivals, I think Food and Wine has the least to offer. Like it's really and truly just centered around food, whereas all of the other what's become now food festivals, they all bring something else in.
I see your point, but everyone loves food, and they throw up so many food kiosks
they do.
And they have Poland, and I love Poland.
I feel like
kielbasa,
Food and Wine has gotten to
pierogies.
the point where it's more mass produced, whereas like Flower and Garden, the food there is very fresh preparation. And I felt like this too was very fresh preparation, and I want the food to taste good. If I'm going to pay $8 for a little thing, I want it to be delicious.
Right, Howard. Food is awesome.
It's awesome. Also, portion sizes. We forgot to mention that portion sizes at this festival were the best of any festival Disney does. Like, but hands down, bar none. This was if you want to get more bang for your buck with the food that you're ordering, you want to go to this festival.
Yeah, the food was like.
I think we visited 4 booths and I ate myself under the table. Like I was absolutely and completely stuffed. It was 2 meals worth of food, so I would definitely recommend it for as far as value for portion size.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else did we wanted to talk about our best and worst things at Pop.
Yeah, we stayed at Pop this time because we are out of DVC points, and we were doing it since this trip was gravy. In that, we weren't planning to go. It was just like whatever we get done.
And Pop was where I got the cheapest room, so that's
and
where
Pop
we
was where
stayed.
she got the cheapest rooms.
So, remember, this was a budget trip. This was not like we weren't really like going all out here. So, so at any rate, favorite thing about Pop.
I'm gonna go with having stayed in the '80s building this time. The Rubik's Cube stairwells. They have them both in scrambled and solved configurations,
which really helps you to identify your building in case you don't like to use numbers to do that.
But that was one of my favorite things. Right. So
and my favorite was the lobby. I really like the shadow boxes that they have with all the paraphernalia from different decades, and I love the fact that the font that they use for each year, it carries everywhere throughout the resort. So they have like the giant numbers in that font out in front of between the main building and the pool, and then that same font carries through like over the registration desk and in the shadow boxes, and it's very Disney in that they pay very close attention to that detail.
My favorite thing about Pop is its close proximity to Art of Animation.
Yeah, okay, it's real. It's a real thing.
It's real. There's a video to that effect.
So, your least favorite thing about Pop?
I think we agree on this.
Agree on this. Yeah.
It was that the room felt a bit like a barren wasteland.
Yeah, there's nothing special about it.
I mean, I guess you could argue that the lamp looked like the whole flat top, sharp shoulder pad look of the 80s, but that's about it.
Otherwise, there was one picture in our room that was symbolic of the 80s, and it was like a collage kind of thing. They could have used like 6 of those in the room, and then maybe it would have felt a little bit better. Yeah. So we kind of the pool also, we weren't really a big fan. We didn't swim in it, but we're right across the bridge from Art of Animation, and if you look at Art of Animation's pool and you look at Pop Century's pool, if you're staying at Pop, you're gonna walk across that bridge and be like, oh man, our pool's crappy. Yeah. So we kind of talked about this on the way home. I really think what Disney needs to do is add $10 to the cost of every room at Pop. That will net them somewhere on the order of what did we decide?
$3,600 per room per year.
Right. So with $3,600, even they'll have to pay some to the government, et cetera, et cetera. It should give them a budget of about $2,000 per room to actually like really flesh out their rooms and make them nice. and then it should give them another collective, or another like $1,500 per room to go towards doing an entire pool renovation, where they could make the pop pool look like the Art of Animation pool, except themed to pop, themed to the '60s, with the like 0 grade entry, and put the music underwater, and just like make it special. I feel like those are things that I would like to see at Pop, because they have all standard rooms. So when you're staying at Art of Animation, you've got to get a room in the Little Mermaid section, which means you've got to at least be tolerant of the Little Mermaid, which for some families, like if you're a family and you've got 2 sons, that probably isn't going to be their go-to theme. Not that they won't like it, but that it's probably not going to be the resort you'll choose, and then you miss out on all the cool stuff that resort has to offer. So
Disney, they don't need reasons, but it'd be nice if they did.
I'm just saying, like $10 a night would get this done, and then you would have 4 buildings worth of standard rooms that would have the same amenities pool wise that Art of Animation does, because really structurally, all of the value resorts are essentially identical, except that Art of Animation has a much better pool and better theming. In
now that we've solved all Pop Century's problems, why don't we go ahead and move on to our next thing?
Okay, next thing. My phone's going to die
in the middle of a live stream.
Right.
Again.
So, since we went to Jelly Rolls, we wanted to do our favorite song at Jelly Rolls.
I'm going to go with Come Sail Away.
And DuckTales theme song. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I requested it, so it better be my favorite.
Honorable mention goes to Margaritaville. Howard, stop rolling your eyes for a second.
No, this is fun.
So the person who requested it,
the Canadian
who requested, well, I didn't want to be all racist about it. Requested it.
The guys they were on the people. There were 2 tables of folks from Canada.
Hey, I'm trying to tell a story here before the thing dies. The Canadian who requested it thought that the 3rd verse, he stepped on a Pop-Tart. So we had that discussion in the
Jelly
middle
Rolls,
of the song,
like with the pianist. He was, he was criticizing this woman for not knowing.
Yeah. So as a recovering Jimmy Buffett fan, I was like, no.
I'm pretty sure it's Pop Top.
I'm pretty sure it's Pop Top. That's what he cut his foot on.
Almost certain.
Yeah.
He would have burned his foot otherwise, so that it didn't make any sense.
Anyway,
with the wrong lyric. And then least favorite song?
Least favorite song, I don't know, because what happened was a bunch of old people were there, and they requested songs we didn't know.
Yeah, what's up with that?
And so, I listened exclusively to the oldies while growing up, and I had no idea what these songs were.
To be fair, I think the people that were requesting those didn't know the DuckTales theme song either,
That's
so
true.
Joke's on them.
So, yeah, it was just like, there were a couple of I don't know this song, and I'm not drinking enough to make it enjoyable. So, that's that.
My least favorite was probably like the 17 Elton John songs that they played. I'm not Elton John's hugest fan.
Or a fan at all.
Yeah, really.
Anyway.
Not my genre. That's not my artist. Favorite Jelly Rolls pianist?
I never learned their names because they all swallow their mics and I can't understand them.
Except for Jordan, because
you told me it's Jordan's name. Jordan. So Jordan is the shorter guy. He was in the second set of our pianist, and he's the one who shakes his head all the time. He was really good. He was really, really good. Yeah. He did a
version got a little bit of Jay Leno thing.
Yeah, he did a version of 1 week where he got all of the words right.
We think he got all the words right. We don't actually know all the words because who can tell?
And he did a really good Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah.
So
my favorite was Scotty, and it's to do just because Scotty's from Pittsburgh, so we got a Pennsylvania shout out direct to us, and he knew where Hanover was because he knew about Snyder's of Hanover pretzels. So I was like, so Scotty has forever endeared himself to me. And not to mention the very first time that we went, Scotty sat up on the edge of the piano and sang Rainbow Connection. So bonus points to Scotty, and he's also the one who played DuckTales for us. So Scotty's definitely my fave.
Okay.
Best cast member experience.
The trivia boat captain.
Yeah.
He was great.
We love the boat captains.
He's in one of the videos
awesome.
Going from Grand Floridian to Polynesian. So yeah, he was hard to compete with.
He was fun. His name is Dan, by the way.
There you go.
Dan, boat captain man. That's who you're looking for. And for me, it was Cassandra at Pop Century because she was having some computer difficulties in the morning, and she was pretty real about it. She wasn't sugarcoating it, and we actually had a really enjoyable conversation.
Yeah, she was nice.
So, Cassandra.
And Cassandra's a great name.
Mm-hmm. Worst part of the trip. We keep it real here. We're not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah,
there are things that go wrong.
Things go wrong. Well, first of all, in general, it was cold and rainy the first day we got there. So
yeah, but it wasn't too bad.
It wasn't terrible. It was comfortable enough to wear jeans and a jacket. So you got that. For me, it was the security snafu, wherein when I separated from Holly and went into the Magic Kingdom, I didn't have any problems. And then when I came out,
Ben was mad.
I was mad. When I came out, I saw Holly live casting, and I was going over to join her, and there was a cordon set up, and there was a gap, and I was like, oh, I can go through the gap. So I was going over toward it, and the security guard waved me out. You can't see this hand when I do that, but he waved me out. So I looped back around. Holly's like 30 feet in front of me. I should have shouted out, but instead, what happened was the security guard sent me through the metal detectors. And there were like 5 people in line ahead of me, and it was very complicated. And like, if there had been a table, I might have had the urge to flip it. So, and I told the security, I'm like, my wife is right there. We're not going in the park. I just want to grab her and go. So I was not super pleased about that.
So apparently the security guard was trying to protect me from this scary man who was coming after me in the park. I don't know what they were thinking.
And look, normally I'm okay with it. It's fine, but I was literally going to be like 30 seconds, like, let's roll. But no. For you?
Oh, the trip was too short.
Well.
But we knew that going in, so it is what it is. I know, what was me? But it was very much a whirlwind trip, so we came home very much exhausted. We were exhausted a lot of the time we were there, but I'm definitely glad we did it. I just wish we could have, I wish it would have worked out that we could have done a different weekend, because we would have had on other weekends we would have had more time and more availability that we could have booked Pop for more nights, but that just didn't work out this time, because we both had some obligations on Saturday, and the animation class, which was like the whole purpose for me wanting to go, the animation class was only on Mondays, so and it wasn't offered this coming weekend, which actually would have been the best weekend of all of them for us to go. So
it's all your fault, is what you're saying.
It's a little bit of a bummer that the weekend that it worked out, that we could go, we could get the room, we could get the class, wasn't the weekend that we had the most time to enjoy the festival. So, but it's not, whatever.
Okay.
And missed experience.
Missed experience, ladies first.
I had made a note here to myself about, I have 2 missed experiences that were kind of, one was, I didn't really expect to have happen, but, I always hope that it will. And that was to meet Moana. So that'll just have to wait until Disneyland in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
But Animation Academy was my other one. Just the fact that it was there and I could have gone, and I didn't realize that it was starting that early because I failed to pick up a times guide. Always pick up a times guide, even if you know what you're doing. And that's something that we actually fail to do on a regular basis, because we know where we're going. We know what we're doing. I don't stop to get a map. I don't grab a times guide because it's a park that I know and love. And
I blame my travel agent.
Wow. You realize this is on our travel agent channel, right?
Oh no!
So, at any rate,
like anyone's watching, except
lots of
Howard
people
and
are
Leah.
watching. 3. Oh no,
we're down to 2. I think Howard fell asleep.
Oh no, Allie's here.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That means either Howard or Leah ditched us.
they might be doing one of their plated things. So.
They might be.
Okay, so come on.
Okay.
My turn?
That was mine, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So my missed opportunity was
this
sleep.
was sad. I felt really bad.
Sleep. I
I
didn't have a chance to sleep nearly. I didn't have a chance to sleep nearly as much as I wanted to. No, in all seriousness, this rarely happens, but I found a piece of Disney merchandise that I really, really wanted. Okay, we gotta hurry this up. It was a Tsum Tsum, I guess that's how you say them, tauntaun, and if you flip it over, its belly ripped open Velcro wise, and there were 4 little Tsum Tsums in, and they were the appropriate ones. I believe they were Luke Skywalker, a Tauntaun, a Wampa, and Han Solo.
Yeah, so we have to figure out how to get this because
it was really, really cool.
It was at Mouse Gear, and I was looking. The only reason we went to Mouse Gear was to look for a photo album for Amy. I'm sorry, did I jump in on your story?
No, if you really loved me, you would have gone on Disney Shop Parks app today.
How do you know I didn't?
Well, because you're saying we have to. Maybe you did. Did you? Is it a secret?
Didn't, because I have to use your annual pass to get the discount.
A discount? What?
Yeah, I want a discount.
No, your love for me should not be discounted.
Anyway, telling the story here, we got 10%.
We got 10% left.
You gotta hurry.
The food is dying as we speak.
We went into Mouse Gear to get a photo album for our friend Amy. Because we were working together on the show on Friday night, and she was like, "If you have a chance, like, don't worry about it. But if you have a chance, can you try to get this for me?" And I, absolutely. So
Howard wants us to know they're watching together. So
hi guys. So we went into Mouse Gear to try to look for Amy's photo album, and unfortunately we couldn't find it. But while Ben got distracted and wandered off into the Star Wars section while I was looking for the photo album, this is when he found the Tauntaun, and I said, "Well, let me text Amy a picture of the album because I don't know if she wants it or not. I don't want to buy it if it's not the right one." So I sent Amy the picture. I said, "We'll come back when we pick up Amy's photo album, then we'll get the Tauntaun," because we were kind of we were on
why are you telling them the story about the photo album?
Because it's relevant to the Tauntaun. So anyway, we were kind of on the good graces of cast members to use Ben's annual pass discount because he forgot his pass. He left it at home. So we actually got 100% success rate in telling them our sad story and either showing them on My Disney Experience that we had a pass, or they took our word for it.
And pointing out that I have a magic band that's linked to my annual pass, you should just be able to give me the discount, guys.
Right, and they actually said they are working on that. So other annual pass holders, DVC members, they're working on being able to just scan your magic band and have your discounts go automatically, which would be so nice. I'm like, that's got to happen like tomorrow. So anyway, Amy ultimately texted me back that wasn't the photo album that she would prefer, so we just didn't go back for it, and I totally forgot that we had to go back for Ben's Tauntauns.
Because she doesn't love me.
Yeah. Can you believe this?
On that note, I think we need to sign off before the phone just bursts into flame or whatever it's going to do.
Yeah, hopefully it won't catch on fire. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything we need to add in the comments? Is there any pictures we talked about?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Okay. I think we have all the pictures and video. I think we covered the festival pretty well through the videos that we have. So either check out Ben's personal Facebook page or check out the feed here on the travel agent page, and you should be able to see all of the video that we shot this weekend between those two places. Yep. And that's it. So
all right.
Anyway, thanks for watching with us tonight.
Thanks, guys.
It was fun chatting with you guys and hanging out, and we'll see you again real soon. Good night.
Good night.